Well, we got into lunar orbit. Now, I want to just take a second, because Wernher von Braun wanted a Nova rocket, a big monster, even bigger than the Saturn V. Wouldn't be ready till sometime in the 70s. So he had to do with 2 Saturn Vs, assembling things in Earth orbit, going to the moon, and coming back. Now, an engineer who's been my role model for quite a while said, no, wait a minute. And he convinced von Braun, the science advisor, and other people that and get this closely, a lot of people think that it's called LOR, Lunar Orbit Rendezvous, is what made it. Well, I was pretty happy with that because I was studying rendezvous at MIT at the time. But what the principle is you take specialized spacecraft. You take a spacecraft from the Earth to the moon and then back, landing in the ocean. That's the best we could do. And then you have a specialized spacecraft that makes the landing and makes the liftoff. That principle needs to be applied to our return from the moon. And I'm doing that. We come back, but we don't land coming back from Mars. We land in something that has gone up and waited, and then they rendezvous with what comes back from Mars. So we don't have to take a lot of excess weight with us to Mars and back.
So what happens on the...
Now, we get into this separate special spacecraft, Neil and I, and we separate, and we're coming around getting ready in a lower orbit to light the engine to slow down, and the communication is really going bad. And it could have resulted in a wave off, but we finally got good communication to track us just before we started lighting the engine. Probably not the best. And as a result, we were destined to land long, probably because of that. So we're coming down, and now all of a sudden we get computer alarms after the landing radar is beginning to pick up stuff from the surface. You know, Dr. Rendezvous is not about to turn off the rendezvous radar, because then something can happen, but that isn't the way MIT figured it out. So the computer was getting a little bit overloaded, came up with program alarms, distracted us from looking out, but a very good engineer, 24, 25 years old, knew what the problem was, and he says, you go. So he got the Presidential Medal of Freedom also when we came back. So we went on and approached, and Neil is controlling through an autopilot, and he sees that we're heading for not so good a place. So he does the prudent thing, not pull up short where you lose sight or veer to the left or right, but you just fly over the other side. It takes a little more time, takes a little more fuel. So at 60 seconds, call out from Mission Control, I'm getting a little worried. We're still 100 feet off the surface. But at 30 seconds, 10 feet above, I figured we had it made at that point. So we landed with 15, 20 seconds of fuel. Is that what you meant?
Close to me.